Hello, ladies, gentlemen, and others. I'm Sturdy New Hat, and we are back finishing off Tomb Raider. Oh boy, I'm looking forward to this. So, last time, Lara managed to get her hands on the third piece of the Scion after killing Larson, but was unfortunately ambushed by Natla and her 3 friends, and had it taken from us. And this first level is Natla's mines. As you saw, Lara stowed aboard the speedboat, and we made our way here. Unfortunately, Lara also got all of her guns taken off her, so we start this level with no weapons. But that's okay. We'll get them back as we go through. But this starts the Tomb Raider tradition of having the level where Lara gets her guns taken from her. It becomes a staple. Tomb Raider 2 is one, Tomb Raider 3 is one. I don't remember if Last Revelation had one. Anniversary definitely does. I don't remember if Legend did. Quite a lot of the games have it. The new Tomb Raider, the one from 2016, also has one of those levels. But it's a staple. So, we have no guns. We have no way of fighting back. Luckily, there are not a ton of enemies, so it won't be too bad. It's not like in Tomb Raider 2, which we're gonna get to one day. That oil rig level can fuck off. Anyway. Oh, but I've been looking forward to this, so I'm happy to finally be here getting this level set done, because I know it doesn't look like it. I know this looks a bit more industrial, but more or less like quite a lot of other levels. You have not seen the half of the level design in these final levels. They are, without a doubt, my favourite levels in terms of visual design in the game. So, up there, we have a sort of raised porta-cabin, and inside is something we want. Unfortunately, we need 3 fuses to get it. So, the first one is down here past a platforming puzzle, which we have to time our jumps perfectly, and avoid the boulders. And if I get in here, then yeah. So if you don't do that right, and you don't get the timing done, that boulder will either crush you or will block this area off, which means you can't come through and get the fuse and you have to start all over again. And these levels love their boulder traps. They're just everywhere. So, drop down here, and over and up, and then we can get out here. But there's our first fuse, so 2 more to get. And then we can get our hands on something we want. But, like I said, not having weapons is not too much of a problem yet. I might make a mistake later on, but we'll see when we get there. So, I'm going to slide this box along because one of the ways I have to go requires me to use this as a platform, and I think I want to pull this box back here and then back one more. I don't totally remember. There's a spot in the ceiling where you... Come on, Lara. There's a spot in the ceiling where you come out, and if you don't have the crate there, you take damage. And I'd just, rather avoid it. I think it's here. We'll see. We'll see if I remember my Tomb Raider knowledge all that well. There we go. Okay, so pull this. Yeah, and that moves the speedboat back. Because, of course, your speedboat would be controlled remotely by a lever in this cave in the mining operation that you have set up. Okay, I'll admit, it doesn't make a ton of sense, but, I don't know where that train of thought was going, it just doesn't make a ton of sense, but that's okay. So, we can just take a shortcut and drop down here. There we go. And we can use this as a platform to get up over here. And we can mess up the jump. That's fine, just climb up manually. Okay, so a bunch of boxes, but before we do, we can grab this Magnum Ammo. This limited, rare ammunition for a weapon that I don't have. No, there is quite a lot of ammo lying around. And actually, you don't, in theory, you don't really need to grab... You don't really need to grab your pistols in this level, I don't think. And you don't really need to grab the magnums either. So realistically, you can actually just skip those and grab the shotgun and the Uzis. And you'll see later on, the Uzis are just overpowered and you get given a lot of ammo for them and you don't really need anything else. Up until this point, especially early on, I've been talking a lot about how this game gives you quite a lot of resources. But it does. It gives you so many. And the weapons are too good to justify it. I mean, you could finish this game using just the pistols. And the pistols have infinite ammo. Like, you don't really need the magnums, or the shotgun, or the Uzis. They're all great, all of them have their uses. The shotgun is really good early on, and the magnums tend to become your staple because they're just the pistols, but they do twice as much damage, and you never really run out of ammo for them, even though the ammo is technically limited. I guess I'm sort of speaking from the point of view of someone who knows where most of the secrets are, and spends time going around looking for drops. But even if you didn't, I don't think you would finish this game hurting for resources. Maybe med packs, but yeah, maybe med packs, because outside of med packs, there's no real way of healing. Aside from when you start a new level and you get all your health back. So in theory, if you were good enough, you could finish this game without using any med packs, because your health refills every level. So as long as you took less than Lara's full amount of health damage, you'd be fine. Okay, so I want to grab this fuse, and I don't want to go any further forward, because if I do, I'm going to get ambushed by a rootin' tootin' cowboy shooting, and I do not want to deal with that. I'm going to be honest, the three guys that Natla is with that ambush you, they're a cowboy, a kid on a skateboard, and a bald guy. And that's their whole characterization. It's one of the... I think it was a good thing that Anniversary did by replacing the cowboy with Larson and changing up the bald guy and the kid on the skateboard. Because this game's characterization is weird. But yes, so a cowboy will attack us for reasons. But there's an easy way of dealing with him once you have the pistols. And you don't really need to kill him. I don't think you need to kill any of the three guys. You need to kill them if you want your weapons back. But if you don't, and you can pick up the pistols here, and you can pick up the shotgun in a secret later on. So you don't really have to kill either of them, any of the three of them. I think you can just run past them all. But generally speaking, useful to have the weapons. And again, realistically all you need is the Uzis. So, that lever starts a conveyor belt, which allows us to get our third fuse. And with that, I don't think there's anything else up here, is there? Nah, cool. With that, we can go and lower the porta-cabin, and we can get our hands on our sweet, sweet pistols. I have missed them. The long journey here on the speedboat. It's more of a yacht, wasn't it? Or a 1996 CG interpretation of a yacht. And there we go. So, the porta cabin is down, I've got some more Magnum ammo, and now we can walk in here, and we can get our hands on our pistols! Oh, I missed them. You'll love to see it. Oh, I also meant to show you before I lowered this. This porta cabin is the reason that I think the geometry in this game is stored two-dimensionally, because this porta cabin doesn't really work in 3D, but smooth. Yeah, so you can't actually like grab up onto it the way you do other 3D objects. You have to jump and then grab the ledge. You also can't touch the underside of that porta cabin. You sort of get slid very quickly or teleported to the edge, and I think it's because it doesn't know how to handle that floor as a ceiling because it's not stored three-dimensionally. I don't know. I meant to show you before I lowered it, but I forgot. But it's fine, we managed to get our hands on our pistols, which means, with help from a very useful cheese strat that I discovered when I was like 6, this cowboy is going down. So, you can piss off the cowboy by going past where the fuse was. Apparently not far back enough.
Ain't nothing personal.
There it is. And then, if you come into this hallway, for some reason, he can't hit you. Boy, howdy, he's just trying his darndest, isn't he? Look at him go. Oh, rootin' tootin' cowboy shooting. Oh, he's trying. He's trying. He's taking a lot of bullets, but he's trying. There we go. So that was easy. And from him, we get our magnums back. Now, in theory, you don't really have to kill him. You can just run past him because I don't think he can shoot you during this next platforming section, so there's no real need to kill him if you don't want the magnums. Like, if you were doing pistol only, or you were... I mean, there's no real need to kill him, but I want the magnums back, and despite the fact that those guys took her guns off us last time, they didn't take all this ammo I had stored up, so I still have all my ammo for the magnums and the shotguns. I think the only ammo that gets removed is the Uzi ammo? I might be wrong on that. Maybe they don't take any of the ammo, but there we go. So yes, this is one of Natla's mines, and I almost ran off. That would have been an instant death there. But yes, so these are Natla's mines, because Natla Technologies, what it actually does no one knows, but it has a mine on this island, and there is really bad safety standards. There should be a railing up there before this giant pit of molten lava, or 2D tiled textures that are supposed to look like molten lava. I know I said that I really like the visual design of these last levels. I was more so meaning the 2 levels that come after this. This one is kind of... I like the industrial nature of it, but it could be better. it looks a bit better when you're down here. Okay, so we're going to jump across. And then we have this fun platforming where essentially you get to make a choice, left or right, for each of these ones. And if you choose wrong, you instantly die with no recovery. But there's also a little timed secret over here, straight ahead, so I make that jump, and then I push this box, and if I do it quick enough, I don't get hit by a boulder. There it is. Because these levels love their boulder traps. So, we get ourselves a wee secret, and we can pull this box back to reveal our way out of here. But also, we can grab the shotgun a little bit early. Normally you don't get the shotgun until the very end of this level, but given that I know where most of the secrets are in this game, we get it a little bit early. So, we get ourselves a med pack and some Uzi ammo. And we could just leave immediately and go back to the level, but we can also jump over here. There we go. And if we run along down the track that the boulder just came from, we can grab, there it is, the shotgun, some more Uzi ammo, and a large med pack. So if you wanted, you could just run straight past the cowboy, grab the shotgun, and you'd probably be fine for the rest of the level. So there's no, I don't think there's anything that triggers when you grab the pistols that's needed to progress. And you don't have to kill the cowboy. So I think you can finish this level without the pistols or the magnums. Can you finish it without grabbing any of the weapons? Maybe? Something tells me no. I think I might need an item from one of the guys later on, so I do think I need to grab at least something, but I can't remember actually. In any event, we can just make our way over here, and as you see, we're going to want to head to this platform. There we go. Didn't mess up. Didn't fall instantly into the lava and die. That's a fun one. There we go. Okay, onwards and upwards. Boxes of TNT. Yes, I remember this one. So there is one that's a bit beat up. And we can get this one into position to help with the mining operations, let's say. It helps us advance a little bit, but we can also use it as a platform, so just going to be lots of pulling. Man, the last episode. Played through this whole game. Almost. 2 levels left. But they are nothing short of visually striking, so I'm probably going to spend those levels just talking about how good they look. How do I feel about Tomb Raider? It's a classic, and you know what? It still holds up pretty well. It's fun to play. The controls, I admit, haven't aged well, but most of the games from this era have controls that haven't aged well. The original Crash Bandicoot is terrible. Its controls suck. And yet, it's still a certified classic. It got a full remake along with Spyro recently. So did like 2 and 3 for Crash. There's definitely something that still wholly stands up well about these early Tomb Raider games, and it makes me a little sad that the series is never going to be this again. The new Tomb Raider games are fine. There's sort of 3 distinct eras of Tomb Raider games. I can just avoid this boulder. There's sort of 3 distinct eras of Tomb Raider games. There's Up to Angel of Darkness. Then there's the Underworld trilogy, I guess, or the Legend trilogy, or I don't know. The trilogy of games, one of which is a remake of this game. And then there's the Survivor trilogy, I think they're called. Tomb Raider, Shadow of the Tomb Raider, and Rise of the Tomb Raider. They're all a different trilogy. And none of them are really connected. I mean, this one gets remade for Tomb Raider Anniversary. Oh yeah, tons of Magnum Ammo. May as well have them equipped. But it's a shame. I don't know. There's something about the original Tomb Raider games and just the way they're structured. It's more... I don't know, it's more methodical. It's just a shame to see games that were sort of at their core puzzle platformers, with the action being a means to an end, become action platformers where the puzzles are a means to an end. And I do genuinely think that the thing that has aged most badly about the Tomb Raider games is the controls. It's not even the graphics. The graphics in this game, I think, have aged substantially better than even the graphics in Silent Hill. And Silent Hill came out 3 years after this game, if I can do this jump right. Apparently not. There we go. Silent Hill came out in 1999. This game came out in 1996. Okay, we now have to deal with Avril Lavigne's Wet Dream.
Ain't nobody else here. You must be firing at me.
Nice. Taxi Driver reference. Love to see it. You've got to appreciate the skill required to ride a skateboard and fire 2 submachine guns at the same time. That takes some doing. But I also like that this sort of concrete ramp system is set up for this boss battle. It's just a nice wee piece of design. But he goes down pretty easily. Unfortunately, we can't take a skateboard, but we do get our Uzis back. Now, there is a secret in here somewhere. But there's also a bunch of Uzi ammo littered around, because the game decided that you didn't get enough Uzi ammo, so it's going to give you a lot of Uzi ammo. So we're not going to be struggling come the final level. I think there is a secret in here somewhere. I think it's over to the right, so I'll grab this, and then I'll head over to that secret. But yeah, don't get me wrong, the graphics in Tomb Raider 1 are very primitive, and even from Tomb Raider 1 to Tomb Raider 2, there is a big leap. But I don't think they've aged that badly. I certainly don't think they've aged as badly as, say, Silent Hill, which again came out 3 years after this game. I also think that one of the things that Tomb Raider does really well is the animations. I think, especially with Lara, she's animated far better than, say, Harry Mason is in Silent Hill. And that lends a lot more credence to the believability of the character, and you're willing to give bad graphics and blocky models more goodwill if they're animated more reasonably, maybe. I feel that has something to do with it. The level design is great. It's obviously very grid-based, which, again, very primitive, and while all of the Tomb Raiders are built on a grid-based system up until Chronicles, I think Angel of Darkness is a completely different engine, but I think Chronicles is still just a heavily modified and updated version of this engine, and it's all grid-based. And while the other games do make that less obvious, that they're grid-based, you know, they have little shortcuts where they can have triangles and different shaped polygons and more complicated polygons and more complicated environmental elements. I don't think it really harms this game all that much. A lot of boulder traps. But yeah, no, Tomb Raider holds up substantially better than a lot of other early 3D games from this time period. And if you're watching this and you haven't played the original, or maybe you have and you're wondering whether or not it's worth going back, or you're just here for the sort of nostalgia hit of watching a game that you played when you were younger, go and play it. There's lots of good ways to play this game. I think there's even a release on Android now, so you can go and play like an Android version with, you know, better quality sound effects and less, oh boy, that wasn't too bad, with less audio popping and static, and you can play in PC. There's a really big community of people working to make these games, oh boy, run better on PC, and unfortunately I'm not managing the bad controls very well. Okay. Jump. There we go. To make this game better, including I saw a recent development for mod that got this game running at 60 frames per second, as where just now this one is only running at 30. And so that'll be developed and it'll look good. There's Open Lara, which sort of tries to combine them all into one engine and adds in other skyboxes and visual improvements. I mean, that's not to even mention, you know, emulation. You can play this on a PlayStation 1 emulator. PS1 emulation is not difficult. Any computer made in the last 10 years can more or less do PlayStation 1 emulation to a reasonable degree. PlayStation 2 is a bit harder, but PlayStation 1, so yeah, if you want to really relive your childhood and deal with the fun of save crystals, you can do that. And you can do it pretty easily. So yeah, I would recommend it. If you haven't played the original, maybe you started in Tomb Raider 2, or maybe you're just here for the little hint of nostalgia, just go play Tomb Raider. It's on sale on Steam pretty regularly for like $1. For like, I think it ends up being like 70 pence. So I mean, yeah, this is definitely worth 70 pence. This is worth $1. It's worth far more, but if you really just want to play Tomb Raider, you could do so for so cheaply. You can do so for cheaper than your breakfast, probably. Okay, so block puzzle, quote unquote, here, and I think then this gets pushed into the wall. And that opens up the way. There we go. Okay, so yeah, that opens that up. And we have to head all the way back up and round again. Except not that way, because there's a block in the way. There we go. So then that opened, yep, so this was what was opened, so we can drop down? No, it's just down some stairs, okay. And then there's another lever to pull, and then we have to go all the way back round again, I think, before making it out. Yeah. Okay, so being on that square opens the door, being on the square afterwards closes the door. That opens the door on the other side. So now they're both open, but I can't run that way, because if I do, it'll trigger them. So, yeah, cool. This way? I think it's this way. There we go. This looks about right.
Say cheese!
And there's the bald guy. With my shotgun. And with that, we have gotten all of our weapons back. Well, we had all our weapons back, we picked up the Uzis because we picked up the shotgun in the secret. But if you don't, then you grab it here. And here is the buried side of a golden pyramid. No, it doesn't look very golden, but that's because of the limitations of texture work. It looks pretty cool. I have to say, Atlantis' design going forward is pretty cool. So, I'm going to jump up here. And once more. There we go. Is there... Did I just jump over here? I think I do. Hey! Ideal. Then I can go and pull this. Which opens one of the doors. Up here, I think. And then we can head inside the Great Pyramid. Uzi ammo, large med pack, and then I think the key, and that's us to the end of this level. Natla's Mines is definitely the longest level in this Atlantis section. The next one's pretty long too, and then the final level's a little bit shorter, but wholly enjoyable. It's a great level. I really like Natla's Mines. I know there's a sort of contingent of people that don't, but I think it's really fun. And we can just head on in. So this is Atlantis. Remember when I said that the levels in Atlantis were, you know, my favourite in terms of visual design? This is why. Oh, I love this place, and whoever's idea it was to make Atlantis fleshy and I don't know, sort of, you know, pulsating, juicy. Whoever made that decision, whoever was in charge of that piece of art direction, genius. I love the way Atlantis looks. It's disgusting. And I think it's also another instance where low poly 3D graphics helps rather than hurts. I think I mentioned that in Silent Hill, that I think part of the appeal of the original Silent Hill is that the low poly graphics make things more uncertain and less obvious, and can sort of make things more unclear, more unknown, and so you become a bit more frightened of it. I think a similar thing applies here, where Atlantis in all of its low poly, low resolution textured glory is just, the fleshy walls, the pulsating floors, the fact that there's no music and all you hear is just a heartbeat, presumably the heartbeat of Atlantis. It's just perfect. And it's a very sudden shift, but you know what? I love it. I think the introduction of the Atlanteans in earlier levels, you see that one in the tomb of Qualopec, and then those Atlanteans that appear in the tomb of Tolkien, the two centaurs, I think those are very sudden shifts. And coming to Atlantis for the first time is also a really sudden shift. And here we get to see the crux of this level. We are down here we are going to have to climb up the whole pyramid. And we are hopefully not going to get knocked off by the winged Atlanteans. I pulled out the Uzi so that I could kill them quickly and not have to deal with them. There we go. So, there's a secret down here. You just have to drop and grab. And we can start our climb up the Great Pyramid. These levels really challenge you. They bring in everything you've learned. All of the traps from previous levels make their appearance in some way or another. The enemies are a lot, because the Atlanteans are a lot. That being said, there's more variety in the Atlanteans here, so it's less bad than in, say, the Egypt levels, where you just get cornered. And the design of these levels is just phenomenal. Everything from the fleshy floors to the... I don't know, the eggs, I guess is what they are. The sort of birthing pods. It's just so good. Okay, grab the Uzi ammo. But there's also those bits in between of sort of carved and ornate stone. I don't know, it's a nice juxtaposition. Pull out the old pistols, because I don't really want to waste the ammo here. But, yeah, that's another thing this level does. I know I mentioned it where I said they were going to give me lots of Uzi ammo. I don't think all of them, but most of the pickups of Uzi ammo in this level are double pickups. So, every one you pick up will give you 2 sets of magazines instead of 1. Okay, so there's a lever down here, and then there is a door that opens, but it's timed. And we are going to have to do some quick platforming to beat it. And unfortunately, quick platforming has slopes and boulders and lots of other things. There it is. Because the game is not messing around anymore. You're going to have to deal with lots of instant death pits. And I really messed that up and somehow recovered it. Oh, that was good. That was great. I did that totally wrong and yet still made it. Because I am a Tomb Raider, and that's what this level is for. If you do not have, and you should by this point, if you do not have a solid grasp of how to work this, you're going to run into problems. Oh, that was great. That was a good feeling. I've never felt so good about messing something up before just because of that save. It was a good clutch. Okay, so I'm gonna run, grab up here. But yeah, the juxtapositions in this level between the sort of bare, cold rock, the warm, carven and gilded stone of Atlantis, with the fleshy elements and the lava. I love these levels. They're so striking. And it's such a big sudden tonal shift. I think Steve of War, who, if you've never seen, is a fantastic Tomb Raider YouTuber. If you've never watched Steve of War's content, you should. I think he described it as the inside of H.R. Giger's butthole. That's what these levels look like. Which, you know what? Fair enough. Okay, gonna have to not mess this up. Hey, perfect. But yes, lots of instant death pits. But yeah, it's a shame I don't know, but I don't really know who was responsible for the Atlantis design. Whoever it was did an absolutely phenomenal job, and I would not want to see Atlantis any other way. Okay. So, we can grab some shotgun shells, we can head further in. The only thing I don't like about these levels is that they have those clamping, shutting jaw traps, which I just hate. But that's just me. I know not everyone hates them, I just really do. Probably gonna have to deal with more winged Atlanteans, so I'll pull out the Uzis. And if I remember rightly, there's gonna be... Yeah, see those jaws there, and I want that. Atlantean's not a trigger, so if I do the roll... Yeah, there we go. Nice. So, I'm gonna have to deal with that Atlantean in a second, but I could probably do it from over here. Again, these winged Atlanteans are a problem, mostly, there we go, mostly because of their hitboxes and the fact that you're in a 1x1 square and they will just bounce you around and bully you. And you do also want to take care of them when they appear, because otherwise you're going to have 2 or 3 of them bouncing you about when you get up to the higher levels. And that's not a situation you're winning. Okay. Drink a tea and we can switch to our magnums because I may as well. Again, you reach this point in the game, I think it is a real shame because this game doesn't have a ton of weapon variety. There's only 4 weapons, but once you get to this point, you only really need... I say need. You only really use 2 of them. You only ever really use the magnums and the Uzis. And I just do that to mix it up really. You can get by in these levels with just 1 of them. The shotgun has its definite merits. It's super useful at close range, especially early on, but here, because you're dealing with like the winged Atlanteans and stuff, you want a weapon that can hit at range, so the magnums or the Uzis fill that role. Though the Uzis are less accurate, admittedly, and I'm going to get killed. Assuming they don't. Hey, use one of my 40 odd large med packs. Then I have like 30 small med packs. Let's try and not die here. There we go. Cool, love to see it. And then I can pull this lever. And we can make our way out of here. But I think you can just go through the water, but I think there's some Magnum Ammo, and I'm back in the water again. These Atlanteans switch up between using the dart gun and using the explosives. They can use both, which I think is pretty cool. The earlier Atlanteans only either have one or the other, or none. So I think that's cool. So we can grab our 2 sets of Uzi ammo, because the game has decided we need more firepower. Oh, it's so good, that heartbeat and the pulsing in the walls. Okay, so grab the Uzi ammo, and that boulder blocks off our path forward. But it's fine because there's a block here. So we can use that to block the boulder's path. Ugh. Oh, it's so visceral. I love it. It's something I don't think Anniversary did as well. I don't think as much as the levels in Atlantis and Anniversary do look good, I don't think they really match how disgusting these environments should be. And again, I don't know if that was just because of the improved graphics and they were worried about... Well, I was worried about getting knocked off. If they were worried about ratings, or stuff like that, but there we go, maybe I can take him out from over here. And he just vanished, okay? Yeah, I don't know if they were worried about stuff like that, but I don't think the Atlanteans are as disgusting in Tomb Raider Anniversary, and I don't think the levels are as juicy either. Ugh. Just, can you imagine how moist the air is in this place? I mean, this is really... I know it's low poly, but man, this is genuinely disgusting, and I love it. It's so good. It's incredible that low poly, poorly, low resolution textured elements like this are as effective as they are at being this visceral. But they are. There are a lot of modern games, there are a couple of modern games I'd point to. I was talking with a friend about this, about how low poly graphics are actually an art form. Not all low poly 3D graphics are created equal. And I would point to games like Dusk, that I think does low poly graphics very well. But I would also point to things like Tomb Raider for low resolution texturing, and the fact that these games can convey those feelings this effectively, given the limitations of their engine. You know, it's one thing to be making low poly graphics and low resolution textures work on a modern game engine with very, very few limitations. But having the game look and function like this, at the birth of 3D gaming, Doom, and the 2.5D engines that came after Doom, there were still 2.5D engines games being made after Quake. I mean, I spoke about this in, not my last video, 2 videos ago, that Blood came out a year after Tomb Raider. And again, Blood looks absolutely phenomenal. As far as I'm concerned, it's one of the best and best looking build engine games, but it's still insane to think about when this was made and what it achieves. I was going to try dodging, but I know if I dodge I'm just going to slide off. But I also have all of the health packs in the world, so I can just sort of tank hits. I think I got them both, is that... yeah, okay, I'll assume that's them both. So, I can then head over this way. But yeah, having levels that evoke that kind of reaction, given the limitations of this game's engine, maybe more realistically because of those limitations, is super cool. Okay, so that opened a small door that we can't quite see yet. But yeah, I think that's... Tomb Raider Anniversary is a fine game, and I will no doubt cover it one day. I will probably just go through the Tomb Raider games in order. And you never know, by the time I get to the Survivor trilogy, there may even be new Tomb Raider games on the horizon. But yeah, it just, I don't know. I get kind of sad that the games are never ever going to be like this ever again. Maybe it's a good thing. And I'm going to go ahead and say that the modern Tomb Raider games are all pretty enjoyable. Legend is pretty good. Anniversary is also very good. I know it's a remake of this game, but what it does with the updates and the story, I think work well. Underworld is also enjoyable. And, you know, the modern take on Tomb Raider, the Survival Trilogy, as much as it is now action platformer instead of puzzle platformer, which I feel kind of sad about because quite a lot of the puzzle platformers have gone that way, are still far more enjoyable than I thought they were going to be. So, and I do like them, so back up here, and he's dead and he vanished. Okay, so line ourselves up, and we can head over. So I think there's only a couple... Ah, I do remember this bit, yeah. So, I'm going to have to make sure I don't die here, but this revolves around changing the layout of those pillars so that you can go across. Which is what that sound is supposed to convey, that all of those pillars moved. Okay, cool. But we also can't mess up, because if we do, we'll end up inside a very, very, very hot bath. Make sure I'm angled right. There we go. Oh, no, up. It was a good job that platform was there, because I didn't even mean to do that. Cool. And now I can continue on my merry way, as long as I get the angles right. There we go. Ideal. Moments like this that the walk mechanic becomes absolutely essential. There we go. Okay, so these three, but the ceiling in this place normally fucks them up. Yeah, like he can't hit me because hitboxes. Yeah, this game's hitboxes are bizarre, but they get less so as the games go on. Yeah, secret up here. This might not have seemed like a secret to you, but it's actually timed. So if you run past the trigger and then fight the Atlanteans, this will close off and you'll never notice it. So I can grab all of that stuff and we can head on through this corridor. Ugh. Okay, so there's some lava there. There is a lever. And that moves the lava towards us. And it doesn't open that door, which is... There we go. We made it. See? The game is just actively trying to kill you now. Heal up, just so I can deal with... Oh, I thought there was a winged Atlantean here. Apparently not. Lined up properly. Hey. May as well grab the Uzi ammo while I'm here, because I don't have enough. You can never have too much Uzi ammo. And we are so far up now that the bottom of this chasm isn't even rendering. We can't see the lava anymore. Yep, we've got over 3,000 Uzi ammo. So, yeah, we're gonna be fine. Okay, grab this. And we can keep going. Dart traps. We love a good dart trap. Haven't seen them in a while. Instant death Boulder Trap and the clamping jaws and the dart traps. You'll love to see it. The game is really, really trying you. Ah, this bit. I think I remember this bit, and this is going to be interesting, because I think there's two different paths I can take, and I can't remember which one is better than the other. So, there are two levers for this door, and as you can see from those floor plates, you can tell those are going to be trapdoors. Now, there is enough time for you to backflip off both of them, but if you do, you'll notice that the door doesn't open. So you still have to go down one of them and avoid a spike trap, and I think the other side there's an instant boulder trap as well. Yeah, there's the boulder. So I don't remember if you have to do both of them, but I think you have to do at least one of them because you need to pull this lever. So either way, you have to go down one of them, and I don't know which one is better. But that one all you have to deal with is the spikes. The other one you have to deal with the boulder and that awkward pressure as well. So I suppose I got lucky there. But now the door is open, and we can continue on our merry way. Hey, another centaur. Give him the old side jump shuffle before the winged Atlantean appears and kills us. And heal up. I went to go check that I had enough Uzi ammo there, as though I didn't have 3,000 rounds. But there we go, a double pickup. And we can head over and pull this lever. And there we go. We can grab this Uzi ammo as well. But we're not out of the woods yet. Because I think this next bit is Bacon Lara? Is that right? Are we going to meet Bacon Lara? We are! So we have to be really careful not to kill myself in here. Like that. Oh boy, so... Oh boy. There we go. So you may have noticed there's a doppelganger in this room. Looks like E.T. That is the doppelganger, or Bacon Lara. And as you'll notice, she copies all of her movements. We can't kill her by shooting her because that does damage to us, because as we shoot her, she shoots us. And if we were to dodge those bullets, she'd dodge those bullets. But you'll also notice that the room is symmetrical, so we can kill her a little creatively. So, that lever drops that trapdoor there, and we can persuade our doppelganger to go for a hot bath. But yeah, if you, there we go. Problem solved. But yeah, if you try and kill her the, normal way, the quote-unquote normal way of just shooting her, you'll just die. And, if like me, you're playing these levels with, you know, no saves except at the start of each level, and you die, you're going to be in for a rough time. But it doesn't matter, I've been playing these games too long to make stupid mistakes like shooting enemies that will kill me. I'm too good for that sort of thing. Except the fact that I almost killed myself twice in that fight. But almost. That's what separates the true Tomb Raiders from the novices. The novices kill themselves. The true Tomb Raiders almost kill themselves. And this centaur has no concept of personal space. Thankfully, Lara's backpack has no concept of the Pauli exclusion principle, so you can just whack stuff in there. Okay, more Uzi ammo. Sadly not a double pickup, not that we really need. Oh! Someone must have felt a little left out. You're not coming up? There he is. Yeah, the fact they explode when you kill them is some bullshit. But it's fine, we're all healed now. So, I could pull this lever after I pick up the Magnum Ammo. And that will, I'll show you what that did. That raised that little bridge there at the side that leads us across, but the door is still closed. So if we run over this side, we will find another lever. And as you may have heard there, that opened the door. Unfortunately, the bridge is also lowered, which is quite a pickle. But the way you get around it is you just go pull the bridge lever, because I think it's just a timing circuit. So if you want to make it in time, you just need to pull that other one first. I may have left this too late now that I've stopped to explain and look and everything. I may have left this a bit late. I may have to do this again. Okay, that was dumb. Oh no, maybe the door isn't timed, maybe it's just the bridge is timed. I had to say it. I had to say it, didn't I? Thankfully, I did the backflip before the bridge dropped, or else that would have been a humiliating death. Again, the almost dying is what separates the Tomb Raiders from the novices. But that's okay, we're at that lever, the door is opened, we can go flip up the bridge, and then we can end this level. And all we have left is the final level of the game. The Great Pyramid is what it's called. I believe this one's just called Atlantis. Or maybe it's the other way around. But here we are. And of course, we can pick up the Uzi ammo. And there is the Skion.
You can't do this.
We condemn you, Natla of Atlantis, for your crimes, for the flagrant misuse of your powers, and for robbing us of ours.
You can't,
Breaking the three bond of consent that our people are ruled and secured under, and invading Teopan and myself with our army, our warriors, empty from our pyramid, so that you can use the pyramid, its powers of creation, for your own mindless destruction.
Mindless? Look at you! Neither of you have one squirt of inventive juice in your heads. Wasters.
Let's just do it.
Tehokan!
You use the sacramental place as a source of individual pleasure, as some freak factory.
They're survivalists, a new generation.
A slaughter heap now. And you, we're gonna lock you in limbo. Make your veins, heart, feet, and that diseased brain stick solid with frozen blood. Greet your eternal unrest, Natla!
You won't rest either, or your damned continent, Atlantis! Back again.
And you? For a grand reopening, I assume.
Evolution's in a rut, natural selection at an all-time low. Shipping out fresh meat will incite territorial rages again. Will strengthen and advance us. Even create new breeds.
Kind of evolution on steroids, then.
A kick in the pants. Those runts Qualopec and Tehokan had no idea. The cataclysm of Atlantis struck a race of languoring wimps. Plummeted them to the very basics of survival again. It shouldn't happen like that.
Or like this.
Hatching commences in 15 seconds.
Too late for abortions now.
Not without the heart of the operation.
No!
10, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And here we are. The Great Pyramid. So Natla was originally one of the three rulers of Atlantis, and has perpetuated this whole scheme so that she can get her power back. Continue her grand plan of developing and creating these things. In theory, for the betterment of the world. I don't know, it was just cool to have a villain have, you know, like an actual plan. But we also then have to kill this thing. I don't know if this thing has an official name. I always just sort of called it the torso boss, because it's just a torso. But, I don't know if this thing has a name. It can also one-hit kill you, so, you need to be careful of that. But we have lots of Uzi ammo. So, there it is. You'll love to see it. I remember struggling with that fight so much as a kid. Because you're on that platform above the lava, you make one wrong step, you're taking the fall that Natla did. I died so many times to that boss as a kid. I know I made that look easy, but it's really not. Well, it's not bad. I remember it being, you know, the hardest thing in the world, but it really wasn't. So, unfortunately, before Natla took her deep plunge, she stopped us from destroying the Scion. So, we're gonna have to go and do that before we escape. But from this point on, this level becomes a really big platforming puzzle. There we go. And it's full of... I'm not going to necessarily say the hardest platforming in the game, but if you mess up most of the individual platforming jumps, you're going to die instantly. So, that pushes that block out, and we can't push it any further, but if we head back up here... Yeah, so there's a lever up. Bad jump. So there's a lever up there, and we can push this block to the lever so we can use it as a platform. But yeah, so there's the plan. Destroy the Scion, escape. Now that the biggest monster I've ever seen is dead. I like that they took those sorts of risks. This game is, like I said, very early 3D, and having really big enemies like the T-Rex and like the torso boss, especially when your hitboxes and collision detection is, you know, not great, that's a big risk to take, and it for the most part pays off. Okay, so I could jump over here. And I messed that jump up. It's fine, I've saved it, I'm just getting sort of lightly broiled. Saved it. Perfect. Okay, so I'm messing up a lot of my jumps these last few episodes, but it's fine, I'm pulling it together. Oh, and like I said, these levels love their instant boulder traps, and you haven't even seen the half of it this level. There's another one. There we go. Good. Keep you on your toes. There we go. Can drop down, taking minimal damage, and destroying the Scion. Okay, it is time to get out of here. Because this place is gonna collapse. Let's just heal up since I can hear the darks already. shimmy along this fleshy wall. Ugh. Also not get hit by the lava. There we go. Made it. And look at that, the swinging axes are back. You'll love to see them. Instant death pits filled with lava, spikes, boulder traps that just vanish, swinging axes. The level is going all out for your last experience. You're getting it all. All of Tomb Raider Trap's best hits. Now that's what I call traps. Okay, gonna head up over here and then breakable floors above instant death spike pits, surrounded by instant death lava pits. You'll love to see it. Okay, made it, and then I don't think I want to go any further forward here because if I admit, yep, that would have been awkward. So jump over, slide, land. There is a secret sort of above me where you can like shimmy along a wall and grab some Uzi ammo and stuff. Oh, gonna need to time this perfectly or else the boulder's gonna kill me or the axe. Axe almost killed me. See, you need to do this stuff perfectly, but it's fine because we have all the health packs in the world. We can just head down here. Don't grab the med pack. That's how you get done dead. Jump. Nice. See? The game's throwing everything at you now. Sliding lava. You love to see it. Go up here and grab the Uzi ammo. May as well. Yeah, there was a secret, but there's no point in grabbing it because I have all the health packs and ammo that I will ever need. Avoid that boulder trap by not hesitating. Then this one by just standing jump. If you do a running jump, you're in for a problem there. Oh, the fire trap. Right, okay. So these ones are interesting. So, you have to run and jump over the fire, not catch on fire, and then grab at the other side, like that. If you try and do it in the middle, you'll catch on fire, and there we go. Oh yeah, and then this bit. Okay, so, that's a slope. I will start sliding. There's an axe and a swinging axe and a breakable floor. You want to run and jump, and we get ourselves into a secret. And then we're also going to have to deal with swan diving into a 1x1 block of water. Everything else will mean death. Because the game is not screwing around anymore. So I want to come here, and if I look down you'll see there's the block of water. Not what I meant to do. Meant to do that and then... There we go. Didn't die. Not gonna lie, wasn't convinced that my spacing in that was right, but it was fine. More Uzi ammo. Swim our way out of here. And now, we have one more thing to do before we leave. So, Skion is destroyed, Atlantis is falling apart. But look who it is. It looks like Natla survived her fall. It's now sporting a lovely pair of Atlantean wings and has also found herself an arm cannon. Well, Atlantis is going to fall apart, but we may as well deal with Natla while we're here. Given that she was more than willing to plunge us into the lava. We may as well plunge her into the depths of hell. there she is. Heal up.
You can't bump off me and my brood so easy, Lara.
Ah, she wasn't totally down. Let's finish her off again. There we go. Natla has been put down once and for all. And with that, we can now make our way out of here. So, we have some platforming left to do, which I'm already messing up, as per usual. Yeah, just in here, if I can angle it right. There we go. And now we can make our way out of here. There is nothing left to do except do the platforming out of here. You can sort of fight Natla as you go, using these bits in here to hide from her fireballs and stuff, but I'm pretty sure I remember, because Natla flies around and her hitbox will mess you up and knock you off. You really don't want to be fighting Natla all that high up. But I suppose using the caves for cover is good if you're low on medpacks. I'm not. But we can head on up and out of here. And that's been it. That's Tomb Raider. We made it. Oh, I've enjoyed almost every bit of this. Some of the levels are a little bit annoying. There are some frustrating moments. There's some interesting enemy design. I'm saying interesting to be nice. But the visual design of this game is beautiful. The controls have not aged brilliantly, but once you get it down, it's still so rewarding to play. The level design is something else, especially towards the end. I personally feel that quite a lot of these games, you know, games from this era, especially because of things like the shareware model, tended to have the games start really high because you got the first episode for free. And in this case, I mean, you could still get the Tomb Raider demo and stuff like that for free. A lot of these games, I personally feel, started off really high and then got worse as they went on. That doesn't happen with Tomb Raider. Tomb Raider starts high and ends high, in all honesty. There's very few dips. There are some levels that people don't enjoy, and some of them are definitely better than others. But this game is a ride the whole way through. And if you've never played it before, or you played it 20 years ago and are just here to relive that nostalgia, go buy Tomb Raider. But here we are, one final jump, and we are at the end of this level, and at the end of the game. So, I'd like to thank you all very much for watching. I'll see you next time. Peace, guys.